Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Tuesday, the 29th of Rabi'ul Akhir, corresponding with the English date, 14th of November 2023. Now, Hazrat Wala starts off by quoting a portion of the ayat of the Quran Majid, يُسَبِّحُونَهُ بُكْرَةً وَعَشِيًّا. Thereafter, Hazrat Wala is saying that this time that we are passing through here is actually some type of period where people like to have their weddings and their walimas. So thinking about this year, I started thinking about the occasions of happiness in the Akhirat. So I open and this comes out. So we will have the Majlis on this today. So هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة. Now here, quoting this particular ayat, Allah Ta'ala speaks about the objectives, our objectives in life. Rather, the objective of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it should be the objective of every ummati. Rather, every alim should keep this in his mind. Istihzar, to keep it in your mind, and accordingly, a person should then work. Sometimes, Allah Ta'ala mentions tazkiyah before ta'aleem, and on other places and occasions in the Quran Majid, Allah Ta'ala mentions ta'aleem first and then tazkiyah. Maulana Abrarul Haq also used to ask a lot that, why have you come? What is your maqsad? What do you wish to achieve? What's your duty? What do you need to do and then go? I have in front of me, Hazrat Wala is saying there, Iman ke Baghat, the Gardens of Iman by Wali Khalid Saifullah. We're reading from this kitab today. So here, this majlis here, Hazrat Wala starts off by saying there that the mehnat and the effort, the essence of the effort of tazkiyah nafs, the essence of all the efforts of that is carried out in purification of the nafs is so much. It is this. What is it? That insan ke andar se mujahada wa mehnat के रास्ता तौबा व इस्तिग़फ़ार के दरवाज़ा, that in insan, what is opened up, the doors of making some type of an effort and the doors of tawbah and istighfar. He's given that tawfiq Rabbani from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and because of the barakat of that and the help and madad from that, the undeserving, rather the abhorrent characteristics come out of a person, and then what happens? In the Akhirat, he is allowed to stay with the muttaqeen. There's a hadith here, An Abi Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala, narrated from Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala, and he says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has mentioned awwalu zumratin talijul jannah, regarding the first group of people that will enter Jannah. Suratuhum ala suratil Qamar, their appearance, their faces will be like that of the 14th moon. Surat al-Qamar, Laylat al-Badr. لا يبصقون فيها, and in Jannah it will be such that there will not be any need for them no taqaza or demand or need would come to them that they need to spit or take out some phlegm. Neither would there be any need for them to blow or clean their noses. يمتخطون ولا يتغوطون, and neither will be there any need for them to go and relieve themselves. The utensils that they will use will be that of gold. The combs that they will use will be from that of silver. They the perspiration would be that of musk, and every one of them will have 2 wives, such that they would be able to actually see the marrow of their shin bones from behind that of the flesh, meaning describing their beauty. There will be no ikhtilaf whatsoever amongst them. There will be no type of hatred and malice in their hearts. Rather, their hearts, قُلُوبُهُمْ قَلْبُ رَجُلٍ وَاحِدٍ, will be like on the heart of one person. On the heart of one person, they would be praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala morning and evening. Give me a light, I can't see. Morning and evening they would be praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يُسَبِّحُونَ اللَّهَ بُكْرَةً وَعَشِيًّا. So this tasbih that they would be carrying out, the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the taqdees of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will not be on the basis that they would be bound to do it, but rather thus they will be inspired to do it, and as a form of thanksgiving to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this here also is because at that time their hearts will be completely filled to the brim with genuine recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they would also be blessed with beholding and seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather, they would be drowning in the ocean of the ni'mats of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their khushi and their happiness, the alam, will be such that every breath they would take would be in the tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, we're speaking here, Hazrat Wala is speaking about those utensils of gold. You know, these days here, the zahniyat and the mindset of people has been reduced so much that if they go to some type of function and they see the lighting there, you know, in that side or maybe that part, there people like to have much lighting in their functions, etc. So if one person goes and he sees that, then for him that would not be enough, and for his function he would have double that amount. Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb, what can I tell you people? He would be in a state of grief and sorrow, alas. And then he would say that this people or the barat here, the people that are proceeding here in this particular function or walima, etc., tell me, are they Muslim or are they Hindu? With so much of a type of source, because there was nothing there that could say that is this function that of for Muslim or for non-Muslim. And regarding this type of things, Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb was very opposed to these type of things. On one occasion, on the way to Atale, the lighting of that particular function or wedding could be actually seen from a distance. So then Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb goes on to say that in my entire life, I did not attend functions like this. Now, whereas we know that Maulana was a person of compassion and he was a very soft person, but in this particular matter, he was very, very stern. He says to me that, Aap jaiye Maulana. Maulana, you go. My entire life, I did not go, so I will not go. But on the basis meaning of the ta'alluqat, you continue, you go. And I only had this much to say, that Hazrat, if you're not going, then I'm not going. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb, we're speaking about Jannah and the ni'mats of Jannah. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb used to say that agar Musalmano ko rahe rast par laya ja sakta hai, if you are thinking of something to bring the Muslims on the straight path, then it would be that of the mentioning of Jahannam and that of Jannah. And what can I say about that now? Today, if you start speaking about Jannah and Jahannam, I've seen this and witnessed it someplace, that they would actually stop you by from that why are you speaking about these things? And so-called considered to be good or religious people in Suruk. Rather, at that time, check your iman. How much of your iman do you have? So Muslims have to accept this year, and if they cannot relate and try and find some type of affinity to this type of thing, then it is definitely a sign or some type of indication of the absence of iman. Be-imani ki baat hai. There was a great Misri alim who would say, we spoke about the people of Jannah. They will be all on the heart of one single person. That's the amount of similarity, love, muhabbat, agreement, no type of differences. Their hearts would be so clean to one another, all on the heart of one person. This Misri alim would say and go on to speak that today, he's speaking in his zamana, at that time there, I don't find the hearts of just even two people to be unified. I can't even find that much. So we understand from all of this here, it is something to be found. It is something that it is matloob. So we speak about ijadat and this technology and this new thing came about. Rather, check it on that side there, what has come and what is in store for us. Hazrat Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala an relates from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Okay, no, it's not that one. Actually, speaking about the four rivers in Jannah, that mathalul jannati allati wa'ida al-muttaqun, the example of Jannah that the pious have been promised of. Fiha anharum min ma'in ghayri asin. In there, you would find a river of pure water, sweet water, without any type of saltiness in it. وَأَنْهَارٌ مِّن لَبَنٍ لَمْ يَتَغَيَّرْ طَعْمُهُ, and rivers of milk, the taste of which has not changed or will not change. وَأَنْهَارٌ مِّن خَمْرٍ لَذَّةٍ لِلشَّارِبِينَ, and rivers of wine that would be a source of pleasure to those who would drink it. Now here Allah Ta'ala also speaks about it in that words of Qamar. But here we have been prevented from it, and there a person would be able to have it. وَأَنْهَارٌ مِّنْ عَسَلٍ مُصَفَّى, and rivers of pure honey. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ الثَّمَرَاتِ وَمَغْفِرَةٌ مِّن رَبِّهِمْ, and from there they would have from all different types of fruits and forgiveness from the side of their Rabb. كَمَنْ هُوَ خَالِدٌ فِي النَّارِ. Now can the two ever be the same? The one who is in Jannah and the one who is in Jahannam? Listen to yet another narration. This one here is from Sayyidina Ubadah ibn Samit radiyallahu ta'ala, and that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has mentioned that in Jannah there would be 100 stages, and the distance between two stages of Jannah will be the distance between the heavens and the earth. Wal Firdaus a'laha, and Jannatul Firdaus would be the highest portion of it, the highest daraja of it, and from there rivers will gush forth. The 4 rivers, and above it would be the grand throne, the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُ اللَّهِ فَاسْأَلُوهُ الْفِرْدَوْسِ. Therefore, whenever you ask Allah, then ask Him of Jannatul Firdaus. Hazrat Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an, karramallahu wajha, has mentioned here that I have great hope that I and Uthman and Talha and Zubair will be from amongst them. At that point there, Hazrat Wala then remarks and says that Allah Ta'ala make us also from among them. Ameen. And not only that, rather there will be many people that will be from amongst them. Now, Saheb Ruhul Bayan says and mentions a good point here, saying that in this particular ayat there is an indication towards a hasad, that of jealousy and adawat, this enmity and hatred, which is from the human qualities of a person, and the demands of his demands. Rather, it is that of the nafse ammara. It actually comes out from there. And this here doesn't come out until Allah Ta'ala allows it to come out from you. Now the Hazrat Sufiya Kiram इन सब बुरी आदतों के खुरूज के तरीक़े और सलीके सिखाते हैं. They actually teach the way, the style and the method of taking out and removing all these abhorrent habits and characteristics. और मेहनत और मुजाहदा इसी के लिए कराते हैं, and they make them undergo spiritual exercises for the same reason. और तौबा व इस्तिग़फ़ार का रास्ता तलक़ीन फरमाते हैं, and they give gentle instruction of that of tawbah and istighfar. So nevertheless, Hazrat Wala comes back to that point again. He says, अगर मुसलमानों को राह रास्त पर लाया जा सकता है तो जन्नत व दोज़ख के ज़िक्र से. If you actually want to bring the Muslims on राह रास्त, on the path of hidayat, then they can be brought by the mentioning of Jannah and Jahannam. Not to make bayan of this here is actually be-imani ki baat. It is a sign of the absence of iman. So anyway, to understand tariq also is something on its own. Allah give us that tawfiq as well. But because it is that of shadi biya, that of function and walima and eating, etc. So I thought that let me also speak about the ni'mats and the function and eating that is going to happen on that side there. So Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Sahib, that incident that I told you people, that we went and he said it, seen those lights there, and he said, are we going there? And then फिर उसके बाद बहुत लजाजत से कहा, आप जा सकते हैं, meaning looking at the ta'alluqat in those relationship, that listen, you can proceed. Nevertheless, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with shawq and zawq, enthusiasm for Jannah, and bless us with the fear of Jahannam, because this is from Imaniyat. Shadi Biya, that's in its place. And there is some type, and in it there is also wus'at, where there are some few extra things or this or that or the other. However, it should not come out and go beyond the limits. It should not go beyond the limits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspire us. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ بِحُرْمَةِ سَيِّدِ النَّبِيِّ الْكَرِيمِ صلى الله عليه وسلم.